The Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by these great sponsors. Are you looking to value your equipment more accurately, target the right buyers and close more deals, reach your ideal customer? Then look no further. Fusible isn't just about ag data, it's about action. Our best-in-class solution empowers you to value your equipment accurately, make informed decisions, and find the perfect prospects. Ignite your dealership's growth at fusible.com/movingiron-podcast. Out in the field, every decision counts. You wouldn't plant without testing your soil, so why would you prospect blind? Introducing EDA, your one-stop shop for ag equipment intel. EDA goes beyond specs and prices. You get deep dive data on every piece of equipment like UCC filings that help track ownership changes and uncover potential sales leads. D&B firmographics, which help you understand the financial health and buying power of potential customers. Market trends that help you stay ahead of the curve, and insights on equipment demands and pricings. With EDA, you're not just looking at data, you're seeing opportunity. Find the right buyer, sell smarter, and build lasting relationships. Visit edadata.com for your free demo and unlock the power of knowledge. For over 80 years, Iron Solutions has been your go-to data source for ag dealers, lenders, and manufacturers. Get powerful appraisal and value forecasting tools that fuel profitable decisions anytime, anywhere. Get your free demo at ironsolutions.com. Iron Solutions, confidence in every click. Today, there are many ways to finance ag equipment, but nobody delivers simple, fast, or flexible financing like AgDirect. Learn more about your options to buy, lease, and refinance equipment at agdirect.com. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours.
When you partner with Axon, you immediately gain access to a full range of products and solutions designed to meet the complex needs of today's grower. We carry all major brands and sizes of tires and wheels. We specialize in large diameter wheels for large equipment. We have one of the largest OEM replacement wheel inventories in North America. Known for extreme flotation setups, duals, and triples, we have wheels for all makes and models of tractors, sprayers, combines, and grain carts. If we don't have the wheel in stock, we'll custom build, sandblast, and paint in-house. There isn't a more vast inventory in North America dedicated to helping dealers move more iron. With facilities on the West Coast and in the heart of the Midwest, leverage our 230,000 square feet of indoor inventory to solve any problem a grower may have. Move more iron with Axon.
At Big Iron Auctions, customer satisfaction is our #1 goal. As the 40-year leader in auctions for agriculture, real estate, livestock, construction, and transportation, we are here to serve you. Big Iron will handle everything from start to finish. From meeting with you, to prepping your equipment, writing the listings, and collecting buyer's payments, let us do the heavy lifting for you. We love our customers, and we treat them like family. There's a Big Iron sales rep in your area, so let's get together. To learn more, visit bigiron.com.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving iron, time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving iron.
Once again, it's time for the Machine Shed. I respect what you've done in the combine world.
But when you step in this ring, you're messing with
Thayer and Fennel.
And that's something you don't do.
Yeah, you're on a different planet now.
You got your eyes locked on the world's most combine selling son of a...
Now I can't help it that I'm custom made. I can't help it that I look good, smell good, woo, can dance all night long. I can't help it.
The Nature Boy. Woo! Last year, Aaron Fiddle spent more money on spilt high guard in fields all over Box Butte County than you made. I'm talking about the cinch shirt wearing, sheep raising, kiss still, woo, combine dealing, diesel driving, hay cutting, son of a gun. He's having a hard time keeping his ostrich boots on the ground. Woo!
Hey, what's rule number one? What's rule number one?
Party.
No, not party. No, it's not party.
The Moving Iron Podcast. All right, hello, and welcome back to the Machine Shed here. I've got Hanna with me. I had a little technical difficulty to start with, so I had to do the old re-record button here. But glad you had time to come back, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me back. No big deal.
Yeah, all right, man. Appreciate you being here. Let's start with this first. Talk a little bit about what your position is. You are the general manager of remarketing for RDO on the construction side of the business, correct?
Yeah, I have construction and ag responsibility. So, wear a few different hats, but, essentially, my teams are responsible for, remarketing our aged equipment, trade equipment, that's our main focus.
Gotcha. I got you. Okay. So talk a little bit about, obviously, RDO's large organization. Basically, you have a pretty big footprint, basically west of Mississippi. You kind of go across there everywhere.
Yeah.
So as you're looking at the marketplace right now, some news kind of came out. We got this rate reduction coming our way, knocking it down to 0.5 point. That's a big move if you think about what it is. Still, interest rates are still in a fairly elevated range. We're looking at probably somewhere in the low sixes is what we're going to see things settle out to. I guess as you look at this information side from your perspective, looking at used equipment, some folks, if you go back 18 months from now or 18 months ago and start looking at some of these guys were buying stuff at 7.75% and 7.8%, some even some 7.9% stuff out there for a little bit. But you start looking at this and the gaps that you start seeing are starting to contract. I guess, what are your thoughts on, we probably need to see one more of these before we really get a big wave in any direction at all. But as you look at this interest rate thing, what are your thoughts and what you saw come out of the Fed yesterday?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a positive step. They're 0.5 point, it kind of is what it is. There might be a massive impact, but I think, the market was looking for something positive to happen, something to trend in the positive direction, to maybe, to help with some of the hesitancy, folks had, at this point, when you're talking about high interest rates, you're talking about, inflation, you're talking about price increases, I think it's nice to see one of those give up a little bit and maybe spur some business. We might be looking at some refinance situations coming in the future. We might look at a person that's, got a trade in that 0.5%. Is that one little tick that gets him over to, go ahead and get something in and get something different, So I like it. Maybe there's more to come, but I think it's a positive thing for the industry.
For sure. And the other side of it, too, it doesn't really matter what happens with the markets per se, what happens to the ag market or happens on the construction side as far as business goes. When interest rates come down and people start refinancing that stuff, there's more money is going to go back into their operations. So there is definitely some organic cash growth anyway that we can see inside these businesses, which is going to be good for everybody when all that stuff comes around.
Yeah, no doubt. From the manufacturing, from a dealer's seat, when we're partnering with our, manufacturing partners to help, pull us through some of this, right now, a lot of that help is coming through financing, and those dollars are spent with trying to get a more attractive interest rate, and this could help with that as well,
Yep, for sure. So pay attention to that. We'll see how shake out here going towards the end of the year, but there could be some just good natural movement just for used equipment, just based on, refinancing some of this higher interest rate stuff and trading in and getting some stuff moving that way. So definitely something to pay attention to there. All right, so let's talk about this for a minute. Here we are. Plenty of stuff going on right now. You start looking at construction sites. I don't care what city you're in. It feels like they're building stuff as fast as they can build it, especially the major metropolitan areas. you start looking at how some of this construction equipment stuff plays into the mix and what you saw happening there. I guess as you're looking at this, if where do you think some of this real, nuts and bolts stuff that you're going to see out there, the wheel loaders, the dozers, motor graders, excavators, those kind of things, how do you feel that market is right now? Do you feel like there's a strong demand for used equipment? Do you feel like auction values are where they need to be at? Are they, anyway, from a fluctuation standpoint, have they kind of started to bottom a little bit on the construction side? How do you see the overall market right now for those machines?
Yeah, no, I mean, you kind of said it there. It's there is work happening, whether it's, driving down the interstates, you see work happening, whether you're, traveling through airports, every single airport you go to, there's work happening, just a couple examples. But the sentiment is there's a ton of work out there, and that's still the case, right? So, if you get to work, you gotta, some work in progress. The industry is I'd call it flat, maybe slightly down. Our inventory levels are growing, but they're not to the levels they were, pre-COVID. Okay. So, you are seeing some construction yards, fill up a little bit. The rental game in the construction world is a massive thing, right? And, so utilization is good. There are some areas in our footprint to where, the industry numbers are down a little bit, but there's also some that the industry is up some, I think we're kind of flat, we're kind of budgeting to flat, flat, maybe slightly down, from last year. But, there's two data points that I kind of like to look at, and they're kind of encompassed in one, equipment value index. And what that reads is, the amount of inventory and its asking price and the gap between that and what the auction values are. Yep. And, that gap is big with ag equipment, right? Construction equipment is not, near as bad. So, the gap between retail and auction, it has its, not where we want it to be, it's manageable. So, some of the auction values are, when I say down, they're, month over month, just a % or two, nothing crazy. So, we're managing through. Construction seems to be like a, slow moving train right now, still moving forward. Maybe it speeds up, maybe it slows down some, but we're finding business. There's work out there. The dealers are being creative. So we're optimistic about, where we're headed from a construction standpoint.
For sure. So I know as you look at the market right now, I think from on the ag side, stuff going in onto the farm, people immediately think of, okay, skid steers. That's a pretty common thing that comes in off there. But if you look at some of these operations and how they're moving along, you see wheel loaders, you're seeing some motor graders, you're seeing some dozers, you're seeing excavators, seeing backhoes, all that kind of stuff start to show up. As you look at the marketplace, is there any one of those machines out there where they're a little bit hotter than another? Because I guess the reason I'm asking this question is the use on farm versus the use on construction site, depending on what it is, and where it came from on the ag side. If it came out of a dairy, there's a ton of hours on it. But if it just came out of a regular, row crop operation, you put 800 hours on a 5-year-old skid steer and you're really trying there. If you put 800 hours on a construction piece of equipment, that's a 3 or 4 months worth of use, right?
Yeah.
When you're looking at this and you have that conversation with customers on both sides, how are you navigating that, right? Because you see, a 2-year-old machine that's got 3,500 hours on it. You see a 2-year-old machine over here that's got 250 hours on it. There's this big gap in there. How are you adjusting for that? How do you have that conversation and how do you go about having that, to tell the tape, I guess, for lack of a better term, when you're looking at ag use on construction equipment and then, construction use on construction equipment?
Yeah, no, I guess in my mind, and excluding a dairy, the dairies have loaders and they're running constantly, right? And so they're calculating, they're running hours, in construction world, it's all about production. So they're running hours up. If a person was in, if you're speaking about availability and, a machine that you wanted to buy with low hours, high hours, or in between, the availability of wheel loaders is there, you could throw a dart in a map and wherever it lands, there's somebody that needs, a wheel loader, somebody that needs, some sort of excavator. That's the construction wheelhouse, and as far as inventory, increases, maybe the wheel loader market is probably where we're seeing some of that inventory increase currently, maybe the most. But, not that a farmer needs a motor grinder, but, I throw them in the mix as well. Every municipality, every small town, every big town, every road job, you're going to see a wheel loader, you're going to see a motor grader, you're going to see backhoes. And so, if a farmer needs one of those, they're not hard to find.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, the one thing I've noticed more on farms here of late, more than anything, is how many motor graders are getting shipped over. He's kind of switched over to farms with the amount of roads some of these guys have to maintain. You start looking at guys, building terraces and whatnot with them. You're seeing it might not be, a 1-year-old motor grader by any means, but they're talking 25-year-old motor grader or something like that. There could be a 10 or 15-year-old motor grader in the mix, but more and more of those motor graders are starting to show up on farms more than I've seen probably in my career doing this.
Yeah, no, it's funny. The industry's kind of worked through, tier 3 and then work through, interim tier 4, and now we're in tier 4, and those older motor graders, man, they don't stay on the yard fast. Those owner operators, ranchers, farmers, they'll chew them up, and they, like you said, they never put a couple hundred hours on them a year, and they'll last them a decade. So it's a good machine to have on hand.
For sure. So one thing too about on the wheel loader side of it is the high lift capacity, right? That's always a term everyone asks that question. Like, hey, talk about high lift. What's the guy for high lift? That's a bigger part of the whole spectrum, but it's not a common functionality on a machine unless it's in a dairy, right? And that's a dairy. It's pretty common there. But as you look at the entire spectrum of wheel loaders across that's just a small thing. And then also third function hydraulics isn't necessarily always a common thing either. But if you look at it from a farming operation, those two things are about 100% of the time. That's what you need. So I guess if you're working with somebody right now, how are you going to go about that search? Where are you looking at? How much stuff are you drawing in and out every day that kind of has that spec on there? Because it seems like if I look at 10 wheel loaders, maybe one of them have that functionality on.
Yeah, from our seat, when we are ordering, any model group, at this point, wheel loaders, we're ordering that group for our rental fleet. We're ordering it for our construction rental fleet. That we do have a percentage of wheel loaders that are high lift. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's a small percentage, of what we order for, our construction customers. I'll tell you, when they come back in on trade or we source them, they don't last long for the exact point that you just said,
Yep.
So, I mean, if somebody's in need of that, I mean, your dealers will have them from time to time and can source some. But you're right, you're probably going to pay a premium, and it might take you a second to find one. But that's the reason, we're building out these rental fleets, and we try to have the commonality of spec. The transfer from location to location, and our wheel load fleet, is very large, and there is a portion of it that will spec high lift. Most of it is to be interchangeable, and most of it is to fit our vehicle model, and so that's why, it may seem like we should have more. That's kind of the mindset of why we may not at times, but we do get them.
Yeah, and the mindset, especially what you're talking about there, is. Where's your business at on your wheel loader business, right? What's that look like? And the majority of that's on the construction side, and
Sure.
I think that's the thing about it. Unless you're dealing with a dairy, right? Or a feedlot operation or something like that. And they're going to order that specific spec though, and they're going to order a machine the way they want it. It's going to show up,
because they have, discounts and everything else that come along with that. So
Right.
that's a big play in that. Last thought here, Si, as we kind of work through this through the end of the year, there's going to be some end of the year buying we see every year. You're going to be guys out there looking for some stuff. What advice would you have for the guy out there looking for that wood loader, that motor grader, whatever it might be? I got, want to spend a few extra dollars here on some stuff. What kind of advice would you have for them going through the end of the year as they go through some purchasing opportunities and some different strategies that might come up through now and the end of the year?
Yeah, I've got to tell you, something that I guess I'd tell our neighbors, I would definitely work with your local dealer. There's other avenues to find one. I think your local dealers are going to check more of the boxes for you. They'll be able to, fit you with, exactly what you need. They'll be able to take care of you, throughout, your ownership process, support you through that. You'll feel good about knowing the machine health, for its, from its inception to when you buy it. The other thing is, if you're looking for 0 hours or 10,000 hours, that's going to be, the optimal place to find that machine and know that you're going to be able to have confidence in it. There's, I guess it's the same for everything. The dealer support after the purchase is very, very important. And knowing what you're buying is equally as important. And that's where you're going to find that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Si, I appreciate you taking time to come on the podcast and talk about what you see happening in the construction marketplace. If folks want to reach out to you, Si, what's the easiest way to do that?
Yeah, you can email me. It's shanna@rdoequipment.com. My phone number is 254-723-1922.
Right on. In case you see where you can find me at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Moving Iron LLC. Go to LinkedIn at Moving Iron Podcast. Watch the YouTube channel, which is Moving Iron Podcast YouTube channel. And you can find everything Moving Iron related at movingironllc.com. So with that, I'm Casey Seymour with Si Hanna. Squeeze some iron, folks. Out.
See you.
It's brought to you by these great sponsors. Are you looking to value your equipment more accurately? Target the right buyers and close more deals? Reach your ideal customer? Then look no further. Fusible isn't just about ag data, it's about action. Our best-in-class solution empowers you to value your equipment accurately, make informed decisions, and find the perfect prospects. Ignite your dealership's growth at fusible.com/movingiron-podcast. Out in the field, every decision counts. You wouldn't plant without testing your soil, so why would you prospect blind? Introducing EDA, your one-stop shop for ag equipment intel. EDA goes beyond specs and prices. You get deep dive data on every piece of equipment like UCC filings that help track ownership changes and uncover potential sales leads. D&B firmographics, which help you understand the financial health and buying power of potential customers. Market trends that help you stay ahead of the curve and insights on equipment demands and pricings. With EDA, you're not just looking at data, you're seeing opportunity. Find the right buyer, sell smarter, and build lasting relationships. Visit edadata.com for your free demo and unlock the power of knowledge. For over 80 years, Iron Solutions has been your go-to data source for ag dealers, lenders, and manufacturers. Get powerful appraisal and value forecasting tools that fuel profitable decisions anytime, anywhere. Get your free demo at ironsolutions.com. Iron Solutions, confidence in every click. Today, there are many ways to finance ag equipment, but nobody delivers simple, fast, or flexible financing like AgDirect. Learn more about your options to buy, lease, and refinance equipment at agdirect.com. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours.
When you partner with Axon, you immediately gain access to a full range of products and solutions designed to meet the complex needs of today's grower. We carry all major brands and sizes of tires and wheels. We specialize in large diameter wheels for large equipment. We have one of the largest OEM replacement wheel inventories in North America. Known for extreme flotation setups, duals, and triples, we have wheels for all makes and models of tractors, sprayers, combines, and grain carts. If we don't have the wheel in stock, we'll custom build, sandblast, and paint in-house. There isn't a more vast inventory in North America dedicated to helping dealers move more iron. With facilities on the West Coast and in the heart of the Midwest, leverage our 230,000 square feet of indoor inventory to solve any problem a grower may have. Move more iron with Axon.
At Big Iron Auctions, customer satisfaction is our #1 goal. As the 40-year leader in auctions for agriculture, real estate, livestock, construction, and transportation, we are here to serve you. Big Iron will handle everything from start to finish. From meeting with you, to prepping your equipment, writing the listings, and collecting buyer's payments, let us do the heavy lifting for you. We love our customers, and we treat them like family. There's a Big Iron sales rep in your area, so let's get together. To learn more, visit bigiron.com.
Moving higher in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving higher, time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving higher.
On.